This is some crazy, man. That's some crazy shit right here. These people are fucking nuts, man. All right, why aren't more leftist preppers? Let's find out.
I'm actually,
The majority
I
of
guess
them.
I'm
Nice.
technically what you would consider a little bit of a prepper. I just bought 10 acres over in Tennessee, and I'm curious why we don't see very much of the whole prepper mentality on the left. And if you guys had any thoughts on that.
I'm going to cop to having a little bit of that. I have a feeling there's some of that. I have a theory about, like Gen Xers having a little bit of a prepper mentality because we grew up with like the millennium sort of so prominent,
This fucker's right on right now.
Oh, the Y2K thing?
Well, not just Y2K, just the concept of the millennium. There is some like academic writing about what happens, like weird stuff happening around.
Okay, so I'm old, and it's 2023, but I'm 56. So I remember when we were doing the millennial change, and it wasn't just like the Y2K thing. There was this sort of mentality. Like, I know for a lot of people, and myself included, like such a big change that it gave you a doomsday type of feel. It really did. There was like a doomsday feel to it. And then they threw the Y2K stuff on there and the 2012 stuff with the Mayan calendar. So the whole thing was pretty fucking nuts, to be honest. And so a lot of people my age, I think, do have that sort of mentality. I think he's dead on.
Millenniums in terms of the psychology, right? Because it's just like, it's on some level, it's human nature to think like, whoa, we're getting, the millennium, something big could possibly happen there. I mean, I think that's what Y2K was. There was that fear that was just sort of a little bit more rationally based. But, there's a site called The Prepped. Is that what it is? The Prepared, John Stokes, I think it is. Will you just Google that? Was it Stokes? What is it called? The Prepared. Have you ever seen that site?
Okay, feedback's coming from this
No,
video.
I can't say I have. I mostly avoid like the prepper culture.
Yeah,
because
no,
it's so
this is for you.
like right wing.
This is for you. It's called The Prepared. To the extent that there's any sort of
I'm
like
writing that down.
ideological bent, it's left leaning without a doubt.
Really?
Yep. And I mean, not, it doesn't get too into it, but it's actually a site that I read with some regularity. It is why I had bought a bunch of toilet paper and
We're going to go
paper
check that
towels,
out.
in February, and a little bit of food at that time in 2020. But you're right. I think it's not there because I think to a large extent that vision, the idea that we have to be individually responsible for the failure of something that government and society.
All right, let's go check it out, guys. I want to look at it right now. The Prepared. The Prepared. Of course I spelled it wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. All right, get prepared. Log in, join. Emergency procedures and prepping checklists for everyone. Get ready for emergencies. Austere first aid, water essentials. Alone, look at the gear from every winter running up. Most portable space heater. Food list, how to build your survival pantry and long-lasting food from the supermarket. Why personal finance is critical. Now this is what the Canadian guy would, no, the redneckish guy. That's what he was saying, right? He was talking about our finances being like that. So important. 6, preparing yourself first is critical, dealing with recession and inflation. Emergency scenarios, EMPs, how to survive winter emergencies, hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes. Common survival myths. What's that? All right, common survival myths. Let's read these. There are a lot of dangerously false survival myths that just won't go away. Even professional news organizations will repeat Easily researching falsehoods. We hate to think how many people have relied on something wrong in an emergency and then what they've done. And then, okay, emergency that they had heard once before. We collect, okay, well, let's quit that shit. Summary, full info for each busted myth below. All right, want to do this, guys? Let's do it. Note, these are worded in the correct answer. So instead of saying it's a myth that alcohol warms you up, we say alcohol does not warm you up. Because if this is a little bit left-leaning, the words matter. All right, that's my people, and it's irritating. Most myth lists are worded in the negative, but reading the correct version makes it easier to remember in an emergency. Let me take a look. I've been going 45 minutes. Pretty good. Don't cut and suck snake bites. Okay, I'm going to remember that. I hope they're all as funny as that. Don't run or climb away from bears and know when to play dead versus fight. Poking a shark in the eyes is much better than punching one on the nose. Earthquake myths. Don't stand under a fucking doorway, guys. Okay, the triangle of life has been debunked. Animals can't predict earthquakes. The West Coast isn't going to float away after a quake. I'm sorry to say that that's not going to happen. And I know you want the left coast to fucking float away. Sometimes I do too. Tornado myths. Don't hide under an underpass. Tornadoes do hit cities, and they're not attracted to trailer parks. Cracking your windows during a storm does not relieve air pressure. Hurricane myths. If you need to protect all windows, not just the ones facing water. Taping your windows before a storm only makes things worse. Don't hide valuables in your dish. Wow, why would that be? Because it's big pieces of glass coming at you? Don't hide values in your dishwasher during a storm. Category 2, 3 storms can be just as deadly because water kills more than wind. Disaster myths. Insurance covers less than people expect. Relying on filling your bathtub or tapping your water heater in an emergency is a really bad idea. Not all people turn into lawless maniacs when SHTF. We need to look up what the fuck that means. Oh, shit hits the fan. Duh, all right. Medical and disease myth. Multivitamins aren't worth it. Dead bodies don't spread disease more than the living. The world is just as likely to have a pandemic as in the past. Closing borders doesn't help. Bandanas and surgical dust masks protect other people from you, not the other way around. Don't rub frostbitten skin or put hypothermic people in hot tubs. Tampons don't have coagulants and are not useful for plugging bullet holes. But it's gauze. I don't get that. If you're impaled or stabbed with something, you should remove it in most cases. Tourniquets do not require an amputation or nerve damage. Okay, general survival myths. This is a good one. It's usually better to stay put or in a shelter in place, bug in, than to wander around or bug out. Alcohol does not warm you up. You do not lose 50 to 80% of the body heat through your head. Starting a fire by rubbing sticks together is so hard you probably won't succeed without practice. Once normal matches get wet, they won't work again, even if you dry them. Water doesn't expire, but it can go bad if not stored properly. Boiling water doesn't mean it's safe. Drinking urine is a really bad way to hydrate. Drinking cactus water will make you sick. Just because an animal eats something doesn't mean it's safe for humans. My dog's over there licking her ass. I don't want to do that. Moss doesn't always grow on the north side of trees. Birds don't always fly to water. Gun stopping power matters much less than the actual hitting your target to begin with. This is about prepping and preppers. You cannot predict what is going to happen in an emergency, So stop making narrow plans. The 72-hour rule is really outdated. Prepping for at least 2 weeks, in reality, things take a long time to get back to normal. You cannot rely on the government or other people to save you. Correct. Preppers are not crazy forest hermits. Normal, sane people are prepping because it's the rational thing to do. But there's a lot of crazy fuckers out there doing it. That's the problem, too. Too many preppers think that when the shit hits the fan, you just walk a little bit outside of town and everyone becomes wilderness farmers. Prepping does not take huge amounts of money. Prepping is not all about doomsday bunkers and stockpiles of ammo. A first aid kit and some boiled water is prepping too. Preppers are not selfish and have not given up on the world. Many work to prevent problems and to prep to help their community, okay? You're almost always better off in a community group than as a lone wolf. If you plan to take from others, you're an asshole. I like that. I like that. Animal, Barrett, don't run. So this is the detail. I think we're going to skip the detail. Let's go back to his video.
Should be providing for at this point. I think that's where there's a little bit of like, jam up. Okay, power's going to go out. Well, why is the power going out? Because we have not made an investment into the grid, and we do not have sustainable
the fucking
energy.
Noise, dude.
There's going to be food shortages. Why? Because we have monopolistic practices that have made our supply lines highly dependent on one. Like we've literally put all our eggs into one basket.
Yes.
These are all of the problems, for the vast majority, let's put it this way, the vast majority of problems that we, for which you should prepare for, really should be prepared for by society. And I think there is a feeling, and I don't know that it's wrong, that if we spend too much time preparing as an individual for these things, we take the pressure off society to address them. That's my theory.
It's really, really bizarre fictional writing, and I tried to read some of it. I'm like, this is not how it's going to go down. If it does go down, and I'm hopeful that it won't, But
so wait, what's happening in this prepper fantasy? There's going to be 3 women for every guy. What? Like, how did that work out?
It's super bizarre. It's always like an EMP or a nuclear or something, and like all the technology's destroyed, and people have to depend on the men who know how to get stuff done. It's really bizarre fantasy writing, because that's what it is. It's a fantasy writing, kind of like a wish fulfillment kind of thing.
I think that animates a lot of the stuff on the left, right? I mean, that's what Kyle Rittenhouse, when he goes down with that,
on
with
the
that.
left?
What? Oh, no. Did I say on the left?
Yeah.
No, on the right.
Sam.
On the right. Well, when Kyle Rittenhouse grabs that gun and goes down there, he thinks he's I don't know, whatever.
Rambo.
Character.
He's reclaiming his man.
Yeah, it's Rambo, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's it could be.
Well, they say it all the time. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and so they want to be that good guy desperately.
Right.
It reminds me of just really quickly, the scene in Mad Men where Pete buys the gun after like his, he feels like cucked by his wife, or he's married and whatever, just to kind of reclaim his. He returns the chip and dip for the gun. That's what that reminded me of. But anyway.
All right, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Sam. Emma.
Yep.
And that is the phone call-in portion of our program. And now on to the